This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so what we discussed in our last session was asset accounting, right? We started off with asset accounting, and within asset accounting, we understood what is chart of depreciation. Okay, I'll just quickly tell you what exactly we have done. So, if you want to use asset accounting, the first thing which is very important in SAP is you have to create a chart of depreciation. Okay, so there is a separate folder for asset accounting. And if you remember, I told you when we say asset accounting, there is a silent word fixed. It is only fixed asset accounting. Okay, and in asset accounting, we start with organization structure and we normally copy the reference chart of depreciation. Okay, reference chart of depreciation means SAP already provided many chart of depreciations, sample chart of depreciations for each country. Okay, so if you go for India, you can see this 0 IN or 1 IN. Okay, so in some of the systems you will find 0 IN, in some of the systems you will find 1 IN. This is a sample chart of depreciation which you need to copy. Okay, once you copy, then in the second step, you need to change the description. Okay, so in our case, we created the chart of depreciation ABCI. So we changed the description to suit our requirements. So we said it is chart of depreciation for ABCI. Next one is, last one is depreciation areas. So within your chart of depreciation, you need to tell the system what are the different depreciation areas that you need to follow. What is depreciation area? Depreciation area means what are the different values in, like what are the different types of values that you need to maintain. So for example, if you want the separate values for IFRS, or if you have the requirement for separate values for the tax accounting purpose, right? So based on the requirements, you can create multiple depreciation areas, but one depreciation area is mandatory if you want to use asset accounting. Otherwise, if you just create a chart of depreciation without depreciation area, it will not make any sense, right? So one depreciation area is mandatory, which post the values in real time. Okay, what does it mean? As soon as you post any asset accounting transaction, let's say you are purchasing the asset or you are selling the asset, it should automatically affect the general ledger accounting also. Okay, similar to AP and AR. Whenever we book any vendor invoice, it should go to the accounting. Whenever we book the customer invoice, immediately it should go to the accounting. Same way, whenever you are purchasing asset, selling asset, depreciation system should post into accounts. Okay, so in our case, we created one depreciation area. Okay, and then we can go to assign the chart of depreciation to our company code. So whatever chart of depreciation we created, we need to assign that chart of depreciation to our company code. Okay, now system knows that, okay, for this particular company code, they are using asset accounting with this chart of depreciation, right? And then you can create various different asset classes. What are asset classes? Asset classes are buildings, plant and machinery, furnitures, vehicles, IT, hardware, software. So whatever different types of assets you have, if you want to group the assets into similar properties, then you can create different asset classes. When you create the asset class, there are three important things. Okay, so whenever you create any asset class, so in our case, we created ABC for furniture, for IT hardware, and for vehicles. Okay, so if I double click on this IT hardware, there are three important things that you enter here. Number one is account determination. What is this account determination? This means whenever you are making any postings to this asset class, which GL accounts system should post. What is a asset acquisition account? What is a depreciation account? All those accounts are determined in account determination. Same way, screen layout. Okay, so whenever you are creating a new asset, what fields should appear, which fields should be mandatory, which fields should be optional, that can be controlled from the screen layout. And last one is the number range. So whenever you are creating the asset, what should be the number of that asset? That comes from the number range, right? So we already created we already created an asset. If I go to transaction AS03 to check the asset master, which is already created. If I want to create, then AS01. If I want to change, then AS02. Right? So if I go to AS02 and see which asset we created last time, if you just do F4 and just tell the system to show all the assets for a particular company code, okay, so I want to say for ABC, it will show all the assets which are created for this particular company code. Okay, let's double click on this and press enter. So this is the asset that we created last time. We created HP laptop, which has the account determination ABC IT. Okay, and in time dependent, we said that this asset would be used by this particular cost center. Okay, and depreciation area, we told the system that the life of this asset is 5 years, which means every year 20% would be depreciated. Okay, in 5 years, whatever is the cost of the asset will get completely depreciated. Clear with this? And then we were trying to purchase the asset. In our last session, we were trying to purchase the asset. So whenever you try to purchase the asset, okay, you can use transaction F-90. This is asset acquisition with vendor. So this is where you need to tell the system what exactly you are purchasing, when you are purchasing, from which vendor you are purchasing. All this information you need to write it here. So in my example, I'm taking from 0104, right? We are using B3 2019, which means first of the year. And there is a reason why I'm keeping first of year, because the calculation should be easier. Okay, so even the posting date, I will keep it as 0104 2019. It is asking me from which vendor I am purchasing this asset. Posting key 31 means credit the vendor. Which vendor you want to credit? You can see 31 is vendor credit. So if you select from the list of values, it will show you the list of vendors, and you can select from which vendor you are purchasing this asset. My network is a little bit slow today. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Vikram, you can.
So I think the problem is with server, not my network. Maybe let's see.
Vikram, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Your voice is coming broken on my end.
Sorry, it is not clear.
Sometimes, and then sometimes it kind of breaks.
Yes.
Then
yes,
I listen to you again.
Yes, there's a network issue at my end. I just completed one session that went fine, but from last 10-15 minutes, I'm facing issues with the network.
No worries, keep on going.
Yes. Let's try to open another
The
screen.
video would be fine, I guess.
No, video is also online.
So same time we are gonna have also listening issues in the video?
Yes. Whatever, because it's getting recorded with GoToMeeting, so whatever issues we are facing. But I think now it seems okay. Let's see.
Sure.
So vendor, if I'm clicking on this, it becomes slow. Let me close other screens. Okay, so vendor in our company code is ABCI, and let's click on enter. So which vendor we should take? We can take any vendor. I'll take this one. Okay, so let's say we are purchasing the asset from this vendor. Just press enter. Just ignore this warning message. It is saying that currently we are in November, but we are trying to make the posting in the first month of April. That is fine. Just press enter. You have to enter the amount. What is the total amount of this particular asset? At what value you are purchasing this asset? So let's say I am purchasing this asset at maybe 12,000. Okay, and then here in the next line item, you need to enter the posting key. This time you want to debit the asset, right? So 70, debit asset is 70, and you have to provide the asset number, which asset you are purchasing. So if you do F4, system will only show you one asset which we just now created, or maybe we created last time. And very importantly, whenever you are doing any transaction related to asset, you also need to enter the transaction type. Okay, and transaction type for when you are purchasing the asset is 100. Okay, external asset acquisition, which means you are purchasing this asset from outside. Just press enter. Now this is where I was expecting another error, but I'm getting dumb. But this is where you will be getting one error message. Last time, if you remember, we were getting the error, no technical clearing account found. Okay, this technical clearing account is a new functionality which was not available in ECC. Okay, what is technical clearing account? First, let me show you the configuration from where you need to set up the technical clearing account. So IMG, you have to go to financial accounting, asset accounting. Okay, within integration with general ledger accounting, there is a new configuration which was not there in ECC called as technical clearing account for integrated asset acquisition. Okay, open this, define technical clearing account for integrated asset acquisition. Okay, you can see we have still not assigned the technical clearing account to our chart of accounts. The first thing is we need to create a new GL account called as technical clearing account. So I'll go to FS00. Okay, click on new. This is of type asset, so maybe I can copy, or maybe let's create a new one. So let's say 2012. I'm taking the next number in the assets. GL account type would be balance sheet. Account group would be assets. Okay, and here I'll just write technical clearing account. Right? In control data, this should be of type asset. Okay, and here you can specify same as what you specified in asset, which is G007 for asset accounts. Okay, that's it. Save this, and this 2012 account, we have to map it here in this configuration. So click on new entry, enter your chart of account, which is ABC0, right? ABC0, and assign GL 2012 here. Okay, so now system would be able to take this GL from here, and it will not throw that error. Okay, so I'll again go back to F-90. Okay, I'll take this date. Okay, 31. I'll just select the vendor like this. Okay, just press enter, enter the value. In my case, I enter 12,000. Okay, here it would be 70 because it is asset purchase. Here I will enter the asset number. Transaction type would be 100. Just press another enter. Okay, and now that error is gone. Okay, that technical error is gone because you can see system is able to derive this 2012. Right, whatever we mentioned in that configuration, system is able to derive that GL here. Okay, again enter the same amount, which was 12,000. Okay, and we are done. Now you can say document simulate. So what it should show? Vendor credit, asset account, debit. Let's see. It is showing vendor credit with 12,000. But the thing is, it is not showing asset debit. It is saying technical clearing account debit. Now, what is this technical clearing account? As I told you, in ECC, there was no concept of technical clearing account. What was happening is vendor credit to asset account debit was coming automatically in one line itself. Now, this technical clearing account is a clearing account which is dividing this single transaction into two parts. Okay, I'll show you what exactly I mean. If you click on this asset accounting button, okay, you can see actually there are 4 lines which are getting posted. Okay, what are these 4 lines? So vendor credit and you can see asset 2010. This is the actual asset debit. But technical clearing account is getting debited and credited at the same time. Okay, what is the reason? System is actually dividing this one document into two parts. Okay, there is a reason, because in old asset accounting, when I say the asset accounting that we were using in SAP ECC system, it was just generating the two lines. Okay, because it was not possible in ECC to post real-time values to asset accounting for more than one depreciation areas. See, we have multiple depreciation areas, one for GAAP, another for IFRS, right? So in our case, there is only one gap, that is depreciation area 01. But in the real scenarios, there can be multiple depreciation areas, okay, which means the customer wants to do their reporting in IFRS also, and they want to do their reporting in GAAP also. So what was happening till now in ECC, only one depreciation area was posting the values in real time. All other depreciation areas, they were only posting in the monthly values. Now in S4HANA, it is possible that multiple depreciation areas can post the real-time values, which means there is no need to post the monthly transactions, right? And that is the reason, in order to provide that functionality, SAP divides the document into two parts. Which are those two parts? Just remember, this is very important. This is asked in the exam. Asset accounting, acquisition, postings are divided into two parts. Number one, operational document, and number two, valuation specific document. Okay, what happens is, in the operational document, technical clearing account debit, to vendor account credit. Okay, while in case of valuation specific document, asset account debit. So ultimately you are getting asset account debit to vendor account credit, but via technical clearing account. Okay, so asset account debit to technical clearing account credit. Right, so system is dividing this document into two parts. So if I show you the normal simulation, this is only out of this two, which is this document, it is an operational document. Right, it is an operational document which is crediting the vendor and debiting the technical clearing account. Okay, but if I click on this asset accounting, it is showing me both. Which both? Operational as well as valuation specific document. Okay, that is the reason this technical clearing account is mandatory in S4HANA. If you don't create, system will not be able to divide the document into two parts. Right? So if I click on simulation is fine. If I click on save, system will try to post this to different GL accounts that we defined in account determination. If you remember last time, we have done the account determination settings in transaction AO90. Okay, let me show you first. So if you go to AO90, for our chart of accounts, there are different account determinations. So in our case, we are using this IT. Within IT, we told the system that this is going to be our main asset account, asset acquisition account, and depreciations we are going to post in this GLs. So as of now, we are not doing depreciation, we are doing actual acquisition. So it will be posted in this balance sheet account, right? So let's try to save it. Save, enter, enter, enter. If you are getting this warning, just keep on pressing enter and the document will be posted. Now once the document is posted, you can go to document, display, same as GL, AP and AR. Again, you will be able to see only operational document. If you want to see the valuation specific document, click on asset accounting and it will show you all 4 lines. Right, so you can see this first two lines are operational, and second two lines are valuation specific. Right? So now this asset has been purchased with 12,000 value. How can I check what is the current value of this asset? There is a report called as Asset Explorer. Okay, you will go to accounting. Within accounting, you will go to financial accounting, fixed assets, asset, and this is a report, Asset Explorer, AW01N. This will give you the complete idea of a particular asset. Okay, when this asset was purchased, what is the current value, what is the depreciation every month, everything will be shown here. So you can see for this particular asset, okay, the transaction, the total value is 12,000. This asset was purchased at 12,000. Now, what is the life of this asset? 5 years. So every year, how much depreciation would be calculated? 12,000 divided by 5, which is 24,000. Sorry, 2,400. Yes, 2,400 would be every year. If 2,400 per year, then how much per month? 200, right? So where can I see that 200 per year? If you click on this posted values, it will show you 200 per month. Right? So this is a depreciation every month. So for 2019, starting from the first month onwards, you will get the depreciation of 200 per month. Right? See, system is calculating all these things automatically. What this report tells you, this report is telling you that this asset was purchased at 12,000. That is the reason total acquisition value is 12,000. Out of this 12,000, if you go to the plant values, 2,400 is the ordinary depreciation, which you are going to book for an entire year. Okay, and at the end of the year, the total value, net book value of this asset would be 9,600. Right? So this is how you post the acquisition posting. This is how you purchase the asset. Right? Once the asset is purchased, then what will be done? Every month you will be posting the depreciation, and system already knows how much depreciation to post every monthly. Right? So in order to post the depreciation, there is another transaction called as AFAB. Okay, so again within accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, depreciation is periodic processing, right? Every month you have to do it. So periodic processing, you can see depreciation run. Okay, within depreciation run, the transaction code is AFAB. Let's double click on this. So the company code, fiscal year, posting period. For which posting period you want to perform the depreciation run? You can perform for every month you have to perform. So normally this activity is carried out every monthly. Okay, but since we created this asset in this month and we want to do the depreciation from the first month onwards, what we can do is we can enter year 11. So what system will do, for all the 11 months, it will post at once, which is 2,200. Right, let's see. So if I want to make the depreciation postings for this particular asset, or I'm not providing any asset. Normally when you execute the depreciation run, you are not doing asset by asset. You are doing for all the assets together, right? At the month end, if I ask you to post single asset at a time, it will take a lot of time, right? So you are not going to do that. You are going to post all the assets at once. So company code, fiscal year, posting period. If you click on detail log, it will show you asset wise how much amount is posted each asset. So detail log. First I'm doing a test run. Okay, I know there is an error. We are going to get an error because there is still one configuration missing, but let's try to execute it.
Posting period is 8.
Yes, you are right. So if it is November, it is 8. Yes. Yes, currently we are in 8th. You are right. So if I just execute it now, so it would be 200 multiplied by 8, which is 1600. Okay, let's try to execute. We are getting some error. First error is create document number range 03 using internal number assignment. So system is trying to generate the accounting document automatically, but I think someone has created this number range 03 with external number range. Okay, so system is saying, please make this number range as internal. Okay, so how can we do that? What is the transaction code for the number range? FBN1. Okay, so our company code is ABCI. If you go to intervals, you can see third interval is set as external. This should be internal. So just remove this and save. Okay, so this error will go away now. Let's go and see. So execute. That error is gone. Now there is another screen. So if I click on yes, here also I'm getting error. Red means error. What is the error? I can click on this log button, message log. It will show me what is the error. So it is saying account 4005. Actually, there is only one error. Okay, it is repeated multiple times. Account 4005 requires assignment to the C object. 4005 is what account? It is a depreciation account. Depreciation is profit and loss. Profit and loss is primary cost element. So you are trying to send the data from FI to CO, right? But this depreciation expense is for which cost center? Who is the responsible cost center? Who is using this asset? When we created the asset, at that time, we already told the system that this asset belongs to, I don't remember, but let's see. So if I go to AS03 or AS02, okay, if I click on this, and if you go to the time dependent, see, we already provided the system that we are actually booking this under the cost center test, right? But why this is not automatically being picked? Why it is saying to provide it manually? System should automatically pick this from this cost center, right? It should not ask us that where should I book the depreciation, because this department is using this particular asset. Automatically depreciation should be booked in this cost center, right? This is common in ECC also. Anyone from ECC, do you know how to solve this error? Minal, Vaibhav, are you aware of this error? This error you will get in ECC also. How do you solve this error? Anyone? Okay. There is one configuration where we can tell the system that don't ask us the cost center, take it automatically from the master data. Right? So that configuration is missing. Where is that configuration? If you remember the T code, it is AC set, account set. Okay. Otherwise, you can go through SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, asset accounting. Within asset accounting, you will go to integration with GL accounting, additional account assignment objects, last one, additional account assignment objects. Okay, and here you need to activate account assignment objects. Just click on this. No, sorry, not this one, next one. Specify account assignment objects for, yes, this is where you need to enter. So select your company code, double click on depreciation area, in our case depreciation area 1. Select this, double click on this, and here you need to tell the system which cost object to copy from the asset master data. So we want to copy cost center, right, which is KOSTL. So we want to copy not only for the acquisition but also for the depreciation. So just write star here. Here you will be entering two lines, APC values. Okay, activate this. Same way, same thing, KOSTL star for depreciation. So for APC values also and for depreciation values, depreciation run also, you want to copy it from the master data. Okay, now if you go through that particular transactions once again, which is depreciation posting run. Let's come out and try to execute it once again. Okay, if you are getting this message, just please press enter yes. Okay, now it is green. So you can see for this particular asset, system is posting from period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a period screen. Every month 200, right? So total is 1600. So whenever you are making the posting for the depreciation up to 8th month, system will consider 200 per month multiplied by number of months. So 1600 is getting posted as a depreciation run. Okay. So if I want to do this in actual run, I will remove this test run and program execute in background. Okay, if you just try to execute, system will throw error. So output device, normally we use LP01, enter, enter, immediate, and save. Right, so background, in the background, depreciation will be calculated and posted. How can I check whether the depreciation is posted or not? First of all, I can go to the background, which is SM37. Okay, anytime whenever you are scheduling the background job, it will go in SM37. Go to SM37 and see whether the job that we executed just now is finished. You can see it is finished. Okay, this is the status. Depreciation post has been finished. Right? If I want to know which document got created, so I can go to transaction FB03. Okay, in the document list, for depreciation, the document type is AF. Depreciation is always posted with document type AF. Depreciation postings, right? So if you execute, it will show you whatever documents are posted with document type AF. If you double click on this, it is clearly telling you that this is 2011 is credited and 4005 is debited. How system determined these two GL accounts? Accumulated depreciation and actual depreciation. How these two accounts are determined? Where we maintain the accounts.
We mapped it, didn't we?
We mapped it in account determination, right?
Yeah.
If you go to AO90, the transaction code was AO90. This is where for depreciation we told the system 2011 would be credited and 4005 would be debited. If I change it here, then you will see this postings got changed. Okay, so this is how you post the depreciations in SAP. Okay, you will use transaction AB. Even if you are using SAP ECC system, there also the transaction code is same. Only thing is because the functionality is limited compared to S4HANA, screen might be little bit different. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
My question was like, we are doing the depreciation here in a straight line, assuming that is the gap.
Right.
There could be IFRS and there could be tax-based depreciation as well.
Right.
So as far as I understand, as you had told me, like, the depreciation chart of accounts or whatever, when we configure it, we are putting it like, one of the legislatures or statutories, whatever, like GAAP or IFRS or let's say tax. So is there a way to see the depreciation under all of them, to see on a screen as you had seen, like, in the other, there's another screen that you had shown earlier, depreciation for whatever, and then in the other columns there were other things. Is there any way to see a columnar presentation of how much each asset was depreciated under each of the reporting standards or reporting requirements?
Yes, so in that case, what you need to do is, let me explain you. So whenever you are creating the depreciation areas, if you remember, I showed you, we only created one depreciation area, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
if I have multiple requirements, I have to create that many depreciation areas here.
Okay.
So if I do financial accounting, asset accounting, organization structure. Okay, and here currently, if you see in my company code, there is
Yeah.
only one depreciation area. So that many depreciation areas I need to create it here.
Okay, yeah, we put it gap. So I mean, how as many as we need, we can put it. And
Yes, you can.
so where would it show, like, all of that, assuming we have created, say, another with
Yes,
tax based and it has a half yearly rule.
right. So it will show in the same transaction AW01N. See, currently what it is showing is it is only showing depreciation area 1.
Yeah.
But if you have multiple depreciation areas, it will show you IFRS, maybe some other tax.
Okay,
So you,
okay, okay, okay. I get it. Okay, fair enough.
yes. Yeah,
Thank
maybe just give me a minute. Let me check if I have another system where all these things I can show you how exactly it will look like. So
Thanks.
let me connect to maybe in this system itself. I don't need to connect to another system. Yeah, in this system itself, I think I have some companies where there are multiple depreciation areas. Okay, so if I go to AW0, or maybe first let's go to the SPRO, ING, financial accounting, asset accounting, organization structure. Okay, and this one. So if I double click, this time instead of ABCI, I'll go with TS01. If TS01 is not there, let me see what are the other depreciation areas. Oh, sorry, this is, we are using client 800. Just give me a minute. Let me connect to client 400 and show you how exactly the things will look like. So SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, asset accounting, organization structure, this one, TS01. Yes, can you see this? In this particular case, there are two depreciation areas. Okay, so if you see this accounting principle, TS01 stands for, no, this is target ledger group. Just give me a minute. Someone has deleted that. It will not be displayed. So let's assume that TS01 represents GAAP and TS02 represents IFRS. And these are for multiple currencies. Okay, so in
Yes,
short, I have 4 different depreciation areas here.
with two
So if
different
I go,
currencies.
yeah, due to different currencies or due to difference in the accounting principles.
Fair
So
enough.
if I go to AW01N, which is Asset Explorer report, and if I just want to see this for this company code, TS01 for any of the asset, just press enter. Yeah, maybe someone has changed all these settings here. Sorry, this is why this is 01. It should be TS01. TS01, enter. Here I need to select company code TS01. No, someone has played with the system, so he has deleted those. So in short, you'll be able to see all those 4 depreciation areas here. So when you click on a particular depreciation area, the figures will be shown according to that particular depreciation area.
Fair enough. I get the point. Thank you, Vikram.
Okay. Okay. So this is how you need to post the depreciations in SAP S/4HANA system. Now the next thing is, if I want to see the report, what is the net book value at this point of time? If I want to know what is the total net book value, one is I can go to AW01N, but that is one asset at a time. If I want to see the report for thousands of assets at a time, like what was my acquisition value, how much depreciation is already posted, and what is the remaining value of that asset, then I can go to accounting, financial accounting. Within financial accounting, I'll go to fixed assets. Within fixed assets, information systems, reports on asset accounting, asset balances. Within asset balances, asset list. Okay, I want to see the report asset balances by asset number. For each and every asset, I want to see the value. So company code, all assets, I'm not entering any particular asset number. Report date. Report date is up to what point I want to see the report. Okay, so by 31st of March, there will be 1 year which is already done. So entire 2400 would be depreciated. So if you execute this, it will show you the total value of this asset was 12,000. On till this particular date, 2400 has already been depreciated and the remaining value is 9600. Right, so currently we have only one asset. That is the reason report is appearing like this. But consider a company where there are thousands of assets. You can come to this report and you will be able to see what was the acquisition value, which means at what price the asset was purchased, how much is already depreciated, and what is the current net book value of this asset. Clear? Okay, now let's assume the last scenario within asset accounting is retirement. Okay, retirement means you are selling this asset. Retirement can be two types. I told you last time, retirement can be either sales or scrap. Only difference is in sale we are getting some value. In scrap we are not getting any value. Okay, so let's say we are talking about sales. So in the sales process, let's assume we are selling this asset, same asset which we purchased on 31st/03/2020, which means after using it for 1 year. So what is the net book value of this asset? 9,600. At the end of 31st March 2020, the net book value is 9,600. Right? Let's say we are selling at revenue of 10,000. Now can you tell me what would be the different accounting entries whenever you are selling this asset? So number one, there will be revenue. So, or maybe let's first of all the customer to whom we are selling. So customer would be debited. How much? 10,000, because we are selling this at 10,000. We are also getting a revenue. So revenue from asset sales or asset sales revenue, whatever GL account you have. How much? Asset revenue is total 10,000. We are getting 10,000. Okay, we are getting the revenue of total 10,000. Our asset value, we purchase this asset for. So asset acquisition account, how much? 12,000. We purchase this asset at 12,000. So this is going out. When we purchase, it was plus. Now it is going out, it is minus. Out of this 12,000, we already used 2,400. So that is accumulated depreciation. Right? How much? 2,400. Earlier we posted it negative. Now it is becoming positive. So this is debit 2,400. So these two are gone. These two are knocked off with each other. 12,000 you are getting as an acquisition, 2,400 as an accumulated depreciation, and this asset revenue account will come once again. I'll tell you why. Asset revenue is a clearing account, so this will come once again with positive 10,000. And now how much we are left with to make this balance zero? We are left with 400, right? Okay, so remaining 400 would be profit on asset sales. So these are the number of GL accounts that would be required whenever you are selling a asset. Okay, so customer we already have. We already created a customer. I think asset revenues and all, we created the GL last time.
Vikram, can
Yes.
I interject?
Yes, yes.
When we were purchasing it on the acquisition, we created that clearing account. But during disposal, shouldn't we have also a clearing account?
Yes.
Instead of
So
the receivable from the debtor, shouldn't it be like clearing account debit?
yes. So actually we don't need the technical clearing account here, because this asset revenue account, if you see, this is already playing the role of the technical clearing account. It is getting debited and it is getting credited.
Okay, fair enough.
Right. The only difference is technical clearing account in case of asset acquisition was not required in ECC. But this particular thing, what we are doing, there is no change here. Even in ECC, the sales account was used for the clearing purpose. Okay, so this sales clearing account or asset revenue account will play the purpose of the technical clearing account here. Okay, so let's see the list of GL accounts that we have for assets. So what GL accounts we need? We need the asset revenue account. Do we have the asset revenue account? I think we created last time. No, we are not created. So I'll create a new GL account, which is 3002, and this I will name it as, first of all, is it a primary or the secondary? Normally, asset sales is not my normal business. Okay, whatever revenues I'm generating for asset sales, it is not my normal business course, right? I'm not here to sell my assets. I want to sell my product services, right? So normally it is considered as non-operating expense. Okay. Account group would be expenses. Sorry, account group would be revenues. And here I will say this is sale of asset clearing account, right? Control data, since it is non-operating, I don't need to provide any cost element category. It will not ask me cost element category. In create bank interest tab, this is, since this is a asset sales account, so I'll provide it as G029, which is for revenues. Okay, this is also revenue account. So this is done. It is asking make the entry in the profit and loss account. So I'll say either X or Y. Let's keep it as X and click on save. Okay, this is done. So now I have asset revenue account. Asset acquisition account we already have in AO90. Accumulated depreciation account we already have in AO90. Asset revenue is same what we already created. The last one we need is profit or loss. You can create two separate accounts or you can create one single account, profit/loss. Okay, so we need one more GL account to be created. Let's see if we already created. No. So let's create it new. This is again either revenue or the expense, but I'm creating it as a revenue because it is a profit in this particular case. So 3003. This is also non-operating. Account group would be revenues again. This is profit/loss on asset sales. Okay, so profit/loss on assets. Create bank interest tab. Again, this would be G029. Okay, because this is also the revenue account. Again, I need to specify the profit and loss account type. Okay, and save it. Now all these GL accounts, we are not going to provide manually. These GL accounts should come automatically from the system through account determination. So again, I will go to the account determination. What is the transaction code? AO90. Okay, transaction code for account determination is AO90. I will select my chart of account determination. Which account determination? Currently we are using IT asset. So this account determination, balance sheet account. Within the balance sheet account, if you come to the last or maybe mid section, retirement account assignment. This is where you have to assign all the accounts which are related to retirement. Okay, so loss made on asset retirement. So we created one single account for profit and loss. So we will select that, which is profit or loss on asset. Clearing account for sale. We created a clearing account, asset sales clearing account. Right, where is that? 3002 we created, right? This one, sales of asset clearing. Okay, gain from asset sale. Again same, so we can copy this, paste it here. Again loss from asset sale. I'll tell you what is the difference, why it is asking 2 times for loss. This is applicable in case of scrapping, when you are not getting any revenue, and this is a loss when you are getting revenue. Okay, this 4 accounts we need to specify. We don't need to specify this. Just click on save. Right? Now you try to do the retirement. System will automatically pick all the GL accounts from here. Okay, how are you going to retire? So accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, okay, posting. So acquisition we already seen last time. Let's talk about retirement. So if you go to retirement, there are 2 options, retirement with revenue. Okay, currently we are doing retirement with revenue. With customer, we also know the customer to whom we are selling. So F-92 is a transaction which is retirement with revenue with customer. Let's double click. So let's say we are selling this asset at the end of the year, then only it will consider 9,600, right? So end of the year means 31st March 2020, right? 31st March 2020. Okay. 01 means what? Debit customer. So to which customer you are selling this asset? You have to enter it here, customer number. So F4. I think F4 is a thing which we should avoid. It is taking a lot of time. F-90, 31st 3 2000. Sorry, F-92. F-90 is to purchase. F-92 is to sell. So 31st 3. Okay, and maybe I will check in the table which customers we have. So I'll go to SE16N. Customer table is KNB1. Okay, and our company code is ABCI. Let's see which are the customers available to us. These are the customers. I'll take this, Control C, and I will purchase from, sorry, I will sell to this customer. So Control V. Okay, just press enter. Ignore the warning message. Keep on pressing enter. Enter. How much amount we are getting? We are selling this asset at 10,000, right? So 10,000. Here, this is very important now. What you need to specify here is posting key 50. You have to enter the revenue clearing account here. Which is our revenue clearing account? Our revenue clearing account that we created was 3002, I think, right? Yes. 3002. So you have to enter 3002, which stands for revenue clearing account. Okay. Just press enter. Okay. Here also you need to enter the amount, how much you are getting, 10,000. But one thing, there is another field here called as asset retirement. That field is not appearing. Why it is not appearing? How the system determines which field should be available, which field should not be available?
Field status.
Field status. Field status for what? Field status for this DL account. Okay, so if you go to this DL account, 3002, okay, and see the field status, it is using G029. If I double click on this to check what, so at the time of asset accounting, see, suppressed. Someone has hidden these 2 fields, asset retirement and asset. So I need to make these fields optional. Okay, so I will go to the field status configuration. So SPRO, IMG, financial accounting global settings, ledgers, fields, define field status variant. Which field status variant we are using? ABC0. Field status groups. Which field status group we want to change? G0 to 9, revenue accounts. And in this one, in asset accounting, we want to make these two fields as optional. Okay, so once we make the change, we need to come out of the screen and try this once again. Right? So F-92. This is where you need to provide the date, customer, enter, another enter. Here you need to provide the amount at which you are selling this asset. Posting key should be 50. This would be technical clearing account, which is 3002. Press enter. Now you can see asset retirement is coming here. Okay, so enter the amount at which you want to sell and tick on this asset retirement indicator. Okay, press enter. System will ask you which asset you want to sell. Okay, only if asset retirement tick is selected, then only system will ask you which asset you want to sell. Otherwise, it would be considered as normal sales. Okay, so which asset we want to sell? Select it from the list of values. This is the only asset that we have. Okay, and when you want to sell? So 31st/03/2020. And we want to do the complete retirement. Okay, so let's say, for example, if you have a laptop which is having maybe mouse, keyboard, and you are only doing the partial retirement, that is different. You are completely retiring the asset, right? So click on complete retirement, press enter. Okay, go to document, simulate. Okay, again, this is operational document. If you click on asset accounting, it will show you two separate documents, and you can see all these things are coming here, what we have written here. Right, so asset retirement, asset acquisition, depreciation, revenue, sales, everything is appearing here. So 400 is going for profit. Minus means profit. Profit is always credit. Revenue, profit is always credit, right? So you can see we are selling this asset. From customer we need to collect 10,000. So sundry debtors is 10,000. 12,000 is our acquisition value, which is going out. So when we purchase this asset, it was posted in 2010 GL account. We are getting the revenue of 10,000. So this is our sales clearing account. Okay. The depreciation, accumulated depreciation, which is 2011, is 2,400. And finally, we are left with only 400 as a profit. Okay, so this is also getting divided into two parts, operational part and valuation specific part. So if you see this document is operational, customer debit to sales clearing account credit. Okay, and other details are available in the valuation specific document. Clear on this? See, the only difference between sale and scrap is in scrap, you will not get any revenue. Okay, which means this 10,000 which is coming, you will not get this revenue, and entire 9,600 will go to loss. Otherwise, everything is same. So you can try one scenario, just create multiple assets. One asset you try to purchase, do the depreciation and do the retirement with revenue. Second asset you try to do purchase, depreciation, and instead of retirement with revenue, try with scrapping that asset. Okay, only difference is for scrapping, maybe I'll save this first. So let's save it. Okay, so the accounting document has been created. Okay, now if you go to that particular asset, AW01N Explorer, what should be the value? That asset is already gone, so value should be completely zero. You can see completely zero value. Okay, what it is showing is this asset was purchased and it was already retired. It is showing the complete information. Here, this is how retirement works. Okay, so let me show you one entire cycle once again, just to refresh whatever we have discussed, because you need to complete this activity before we talk the new topic tomorrow, that is AUC, okay, asset under construction. So simple, how to create a new asset, AS01. Okay, I'm creating a new asset. You have to provide the asset class. Let's say now I want to create a table or a chair. So I will use this furniture asset class. Okay, but if you want to use this, definitely you have to provide the account determination and all, which we are not maintained. So we will get a lot of errors, right? We have not created the GL accounts for furniture and all. We have to create the GL accounts. We have to map it into A90, then only entire cycle will work. So let's take the same example for IT hardware. Press enter. So description would be, let's say this is desktop. Okay, within desktop, I'll go to the time dependent. Let's say this desktop would be used again by the same department. Depreciation area, I will enter the life of this asset as 10 years this time. So every year, how much percentage would be deducted as a depreciation? Only 10%. In our previous case, because the life was 5 years, 20% was getting depreciated. In this particular case, it would be only 10%. Okay, just give me a minute. Yeah, sorry. So I'm keeping at 10 years. Sorry, useful life is 10 years, which means every year 10% would be depreciated. Okay, and click on save. So this will generate the asset number. So asset number is 3002. If I go to the asset explorer, as of now, I have not done any transaction for this asset. So it will show complete blank. It will not show us anything. Okay. As soon as we purchase the asset, then the fields will come automatically. Right? So how to purchase the asset? We can use transaction F-90 for external asset acquisition. Just to keep the thing simple, I'm taking it 0104 because then the calculations would be simple. We'll be able to calculate the things. Okay, and again 0104 2019. Here I need to provide the vendor, from which vendor I am purchasing this asset. Let's avoid this F4. So F-90. Okay, and I think I used it earlier, so this was a vendor. Just press enter. Warning, just press another enter. Here you specify the amount, at what amount you are purchasing. Let's say I'm still purchasing the asset at the same amount, which is 12,000. Okay, and here posting key would be 70 because I want to debit the asset. Which asset I want to debit? Earlier I debited this asset. This time I want to debit this new asset, which is 3002. And if I'm purchasing the asset, I have to specify 100 in the transaction type. Press enter. Again enter the same amount, which is 12,000. If you go to document, simulate, system will show you two separate documents. One is operational document, second is valuation specific document, which will be used using the technical clearing account. Okay, once this is done, you can come and you can save. So now asset has been purchased. So again, if I go to AW01N, now system will tell me that we purchased this asset at 12,000. Since the life of the asset is 10 years, every year 1200 would be depreciated. Every year 1200 means every month 100, right? So you can go to the posted values and it will show you every month there is a 100. Why it is showing 900 here? Because it is cumulative for 9 months, because up to 8 months we already posted the depreciation. Now the depreciation is only possible after 9th month. So From the 9th month onwards, entire 900 would be depreciated for the previous months also, right? And then if you want to sell this asset, let's say this time we will not sell, we will scrap. Okay, if you want to scrap this asset after the end of 1 year, so what would be the value at the end of 1 year? It would be 10,800, 12,000 minus 1200. 10,800 should be booked as loss, right? How to do that? So for scrapping, again you will go to accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, posting, retirement. Now within retirement, I'm not going with revenue, I'm going without revenue. Asset retirement by scrapping. So double click. Here you need to provide which asset you want to retire. You don't need to provide any other information. There is no customer, there is no revenue, right? So which asset you want to retire? Document date, when you want to retire. So I want to retire on 31st March 2020. 31st March 2020, and asset value also 31st March 2020. If you just want to provide some text, so text. Whether it is a partial retirement or the full retirement, just come here. Okay, it is not a partial retirement, so no need to enter anything. Additional details, let's see if there is anything required. I don't think so. Okay, let's go to the simulation. So it is clearly showing you 10,800 is going for loss, and this is the same account that we provided in AO90 3003, right? So let's come out, try to post this. So this asset has been retired. Now if you go to AW01N, it will clearly show you that there is no value available because this asset is already retired with the loss of 10,800. Here it is a very simple process. If you just do some basic transactions, you'll be able to understand each and everything. Okay, it is actually a very small topic, but it is very important because many times in many what we can say, in many institutes, this they tell this is a very tough topic, they make it very difficult for you, but if you do some 2-3 scenarios, it is not that much difficult. Okay, so before we meet tomorrow, I'm expecting that you complete at least this activity what we have done in the last 2 days, because AUC you will be able to understand if these things are clear in your mind. Okay, so tomorrow we will discuss 2 topics, AUC, which is asset under construction, and low value asset, which is LVA. Okay, so please try to complete this practice, whatever we have done till now. I will make sure that these 2 videos, today's videos, and I think last video was also not shared on time. So both the videos I will share in another 1 hour. Okay.
Vikram, Srikanth here.
Yes, Srikanth.
So Vikram, I have some idea on the fixed asset, and I also heard that there would be any transfer of asset from one unit to another unit.
Yes.
Okay. So can we know that?
We are going to talk. Yes, Srikanth, we will talk about transfer. Transfer is another functionality. So first we will complete this asset, whatever we have done till now. Tomorrow we will see AUC and LVA, and then we will also see the transfer of asset.
Okay. Just want to know that it's covered in this. Okay, thank you.
Yes, we will cover that. Okay, so any other questions before we close? Okay, if not, thank you all and see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Bye. You can use same link tomorrow also. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikram. Thank you, everyone.